Okay, so since my theory on the siege tower didn't seem to get anything, and I didn't really get any new information from looking into Revel, I don't know why my frame rate counter appeared for a brief. Come on, it shouldn't be there. I turned it off. Ah, well. Don't you do this to me, Windows. Don't you dare. So, why are you still there? Give me a moment. Okay, so I went and did a little bit of looking online to confirm my theory, and along the way, that's the problem. I really shouldn't be looking up stuff about this game when I'm trying to play it, but at the same time, I do want to get to the main plot, so it's hard to resist that temptation. So, apparently, what I really should have done was just do what the game's been trying to goad me into doing for a while and actually explore the whole place. So, I'm gonna go explore where I know I'll find the answers, and then hopefully we'll get on with our lives. Now, should be pretty close now. So,
I'm gone.
what have we got? So, what exactly is the Advocate? This man is dressed in soft blue robes covered with intricate designs. Despite their opulence, however, the robes look wrinkled and worn. You place the man's age somewhere between middle-aged and early 60s. The worry lines make an exact determination difficult. As you enter, the man suddenly turns toward you. As he does, you are suddenly struck with a terrible sense that you know this man, or did at one time. Greetings. The man squints as if trying to place you. Yes? Is there something that I can help you with? Who are you?
Updated my journal.
I am Ionis. He studies you and frowns. Were you looking for me? I don't know. What is this place? I am an advocate. These are my offices. Ionis's voice takes an irritated edge. Do you seek counsel? If not, perhaps you had best test your curiosity elsewhere. An advocate? What's
Updated
that?
my journal.
Morty breaks in with a whisper. He's saying he's a lawyer, a counselor, one of those Berks who rattle their bone boxes at the courts. Ionis's frown deepens. An advocate provides counsel, helps others navigate the labyrinths of Sigil's legal system, arrange legacies for citizens to ensure their property is divided as they choose upon death, defend those in Sigil's courts who have been wrongly accused. He pauses. Do you need help in any of these areas? Actually, I've come to collect the legacy of a young woman. Indeed? Very well. Do you remember the legacy in question? The young woman's legacy is 687 KS. That? His eyes widen as you name the legacy. My daughter's legacy? He looks shocked. How do you know my daughter? Let's see. I'm not certain. There is a sensory stone in the fest hall that held the legacy number. His eyes blaze with hope. There is? But which one? You must tell me. It is one of the sensate sensory stones. If you are not a sensate, you cannot gain access. He thinks for a moment. I must find a way. Perhaps they would make an exception for her father. I do not wish to break the sensate's laws. Nevertheless, I could speak to someone and see if something else might be done.
Journal.
Ionis looks relieved. If you could, I would be most grateful. I will see what can be done. I will know more about Dayanara, though. What was she like? Dayanara? She was young. She had recently joined the Society of Sensation, the Sensates. Not an unpleasant faction, but she had also met someone there. She followed him on a journey, and then there she died. Her bod... I was not been able to recover her body. Do you know anything about this man she journeyed
my
with?
journal.
Little. I barely even knew of its existence until she had departed. By then, it was too late to have known him. I believe that man was me, but I have forgotten much. You? Ionis looks at you up and down. You are the one, and you say you have forgotten? Ionis draws himself up. He looks like he is squaring himself for battle. You have forgotten, but the incident was not so long ago. How can this be? I have a strange condition. I lose myself for a time. Anything you can tell me about myself or your daughter would be invaluable. Countless liars have I known in my tenure of this city. Ionis studies you intently. You do not strike me as one of them, at least on this matter. If you truly do not remember, then whatever befell you and my daughter on your journey must have left deep scars. I am inclined to agree. Then I ask your word on this. If your memory returns, and you discover what has happened to my daughter, return to me so that my mind may at last be at rest on this matter. I will do that. Very well then. Now leave. I wish to be alone with my thoughts. Farewell then. I'm pretty sure there's something else I can get. At last, were you able to convince them to grant me access to their sensoriums? Not quite yet. Let's see, I believe 51 AA. Okay. He looks at you in surprise as you name the legacy. That is extremely old. Are you certain? A shocked look comes upon his face. I hope that wasn't one of the ones that were burned. How old is it? Well, Giannis ponders it for a moment. Several decades at least. You said it might have been burned? What do you mean? Giannis looks saddened. Yes. This office was the target of a senseless act of vandalism. A year ago, we had a break-in here at the office. The vandal's sole desire seemed to be to burn my legal documentation. Much was lost. A shame, really. Sigil can be quite wearing on a person's faith. He seems to lose an inch as he mentions Sigil. The vandal only damaged certain documents. Irreplaceable. Can you check and see if the legacy still exists? He nods quickly. Oh yes, of course. It will take a moment. Giannis returns, nodding. Yes, fortunately it was unharmed by the fires. All the articles are safe. Could I collect on it? I am the beneficiary. Of course. Sign here and here, on the dotted line. There and there? Alright. There we are. That should be the last of the paperwork. Here are all of the items that were in the vault. One looks like a foundry receipt, though quite an old one to be sure. Did the deceased have something commissioned at the foundry? I don't really know. Perhaps I'm beginning to think just about anything is possible.
I couldn't
Where's
carry
the foundry?
anymore, so I had to drop it.
It is located in the lower ward. It is past the Great Gate. Look for a number of Godsmen guards at a gate, and you should be in the right place. Thank you for your directions. I will go there now. A bunch of random stuff. Strange chunk of rock. Wonder what the last thing could have been. This receipt? Okay. This lump of stone is much lighter than it looks. It might be the petrified organ of some creature. Although the lump still has a stone texture, it is extremely pliant, like a sponge. For some reason, just looking at it makes you hungry. A disturbing gurgling sound occasionally comes from the stone. Identify. The stone gullet of Lefal the Gross. The gurgling stone gullet of Lefal the Gross is not as well known as most artifacts tend to be. No wars have been waged over it, no betrayals, no epic journeys into the underworld, only a few moralizing sorcerers, a fat man, and his stomach. As the legend goes, Lefal the Gross was said to have been a promising practitioner of the art, a sorcerer's apprentice to one of the last seers of Essanon. Despite his skill at the art, however, its gluttony was the subject of much ridicule among his peers. During the last great massing of Essanon, Lefal was invited to dine at the center table, but unknown to him, his peers had filled his wine goblet with an elixir of turning flesh to stone to teach the rotund student a lesson. Lefal consumed such great amounts of food and drink during the mass, however, that it diluted the potion's effects. Complaining of a stomachache hours after the feast, the local healers discovered that Lefal's stomach had turned to stone, yet was still capable of digesting food. Lefal lived the rest of his days happily eating, though his skillet was a few pounds heavier than before. When he finally died, his stomach was removed as an oddity, and since then it has wandered the plains in search of a new stomach. In search of new stomachs? What the hell? To use the artifact, one must consume it, so doing so will turn the eater's stomach into the stone gullet. Devouring the stone gullet of Lefal will grant the user the blessing of stone and rock and slight resistance to stomach acid. Oh dear. I'm gonna have to hang on to that. Now what's this other thing? This shimmering jewel catches the light and reflects it a spray of colors. It looks extremely valuable. Do you still have an identify? No. Maybe you might? No. I doubt Ignis would. Okay, so I'll have to go and rest to get that sorted, but I think I can sit around and do that. Okay, let's go elsewhere in the meantime. Although, odd, I didn't expect to see Dianara's father here. Huh. It's not something that I even thought about being an issue. I mean, I guess we really don't know much about this place, do we? mean, I've spent, what, 20 hours at the most in this world thus far? Probably not even halfway through the game knowing CRPGs. There is a man, Ionis, who I was hoping you would grant temporary access to the private sensorium. And for what reason would we allow such a thing? Because one of the stones there contains a fragment of his daughter's experiences. She died far from home, not having seen him in a long while, and he mourns her loss deeply.
Updated my journal.
Splinter nods, thinking for a moment, then nods again. Yes, we shall allow this Ionis to enter the private sensorium. Well escorted, of course. You may tell him he has permission. My thanks. Alright, so I'm gonna rest real quick and then convey the news. Alright. Yes, they agreed to give you access to your daughter's sensory stone. Thank you, good sir. Thank you. I am in your debt. It was no trouble, Ionis. Please, go see the experiences of your daughter. I think they may ease your troubles. You see Ionis. He turns as you enter and affixes you with a tired gaze. There are dark sacs beneath his eyes, and he looks as he has not been sleeping. You again. What is it you want this time? Are you alright? You must excuse me. As of late, I've been beset by troubles. I'm afraid it's been a rather trying time these past few years. Anything I could help with? No, there's little that can be done. Nevertheless, I appreciate your offer. Thank you. Okay. Contracts that are deliverable at the death of the client. Okay. So it looks like I'm getting about as much out of that as I'm going to get. At least until I give him some time to go and check on the sensory stone. Well, now that that's been resolved, is there anything else I want to do? I don't think I have enough gold to really do too much unless I want to sell this. Well, real quick, where was that item? Here we are. Okay, invokes chromatic orb when held. +1 to saving throws. Not too bad. This shimmering jewel is actually the corpse of a radiant spirit from the upper plane of Elysium. When these creatures pass away, they leave their shimmering husks behind. These husks are often mistaken for jewels or semi-precious stones. Their essence is still that of harmony and goodness, and they can only be employed by a creature whose heart is filled with good intentions. The kaleidoscopic eye can either be wielded in the hand or placed in an empty eye socket, depending on whether its owner wishes to use it for defense or offense. When held, the user may summon its power to harness ambient light, twist it, then turn it against his enemies. When placed in the owner's eye socket, the eye grafts itself to the wearer's skull, and helps shield its new owner. It absorbs a portion of the energies from incoming attacks, and provides proof against all manner of magical attacks. When the kaleidoscope eye's offensive power is exhausted, it cracks and turns to dust. Interesting. So it looks like I could use it if I so desire. But I'll just check on that later. Meanwhile, is there anything I want to worry about? Is there anything I want to sell, I guess? That's what I really need to figure out. Yeah, there's not really much here that I'd want to sell. Yep, let's go ahead and check to see if there's any armor or something that I want from here, and then head out. Because I have a feeling that when I go running off to check on, to find, Revel, things are going to be rather fun. Okay, so, actually I do have enough for these, so and I have stuff for Fall from Grace as well. Increases regeneration, and extra spell memorization. That's a lot of gold. Next question, is it worth it compared to what we've got? Okay, so either one would be useful. Let's get this one. Won't change the look of anything, but...
your mitts off, you dirty wee rat. I'm afraid that is the only article of clothing I have brought with me.
Alright then, so be it. Well, I guess I'll keep him around just in case, but... Okay. Now that I've spent a ton of gold, let's go to the foundry. Looks like they're just gonna let me in. Now the next question is, who do I talk to about this receipt?
All right. Done.
You know, it wouldn't kill you to say a few words to me, Fiendly. Or hug me. Or kiss me.
Morty, you are silly. Although I will admit, I'm surprised I haven't heard stuff like that for a little bit. Now, let's go talk to some of the people here at the foundry, see what we can find. You see a wizened old man with trembling hands and a cunning face. He looks you over carefully and speaks. Hail, hello, have I seen you before? You seem familiar to me somehow. I suppose it's possible. I never forget a face. It'll come to me. To bother with it. Do you remember where? It's important to me. Not so fast, lad. Takes a while for the mind to warm up to a task like this. I've lived a long time and seen a lot more faces in that time, and it ain't so easy to remember. Memory's a fleeting, lad, and that's some you can bank on. Before replying, you mutter, "Tell me about it, lad." Then can you tell me who you are? Me? I'm Nuddlin, Godsman Fighter Extraordinaire. At least I used to be. Now I'm a clerk in the foundry, breathing in this sooty air and hastening my dying day along. I'm here to pick up an item. Do you have a receipt? You need a receipt or I can't give you anything. The old man takes the receipt from you and scrutinizes it carefully. This thing's over 100 years old. How'd you come by it? It was in a legacy. I see. Quite a catch you've made. Here you go, lad. Treat this metal well, you hear? Sure thing.
In knowing the teachings of Zerthamon, I have become stronger.
Useful.
Endure. In enduring, grow strong.
Okay. Extra spell memorization. Let's take a look at that before I look at anybody else. Not too much, but I'm sure I'll get to see more in time. Now, who else said they leveled up? Okay, Anna, and that seems to be it. And it was your fighter aspect. Kill! Now.
Your will be done. All right. Done.
Let's see what needs to be done for everything else.
All right. All right. All right.
Okay. So, I have the bloody handkerchief.
I'm gone.
And I just need to know at this point
I'm gone.
where exactly to go.
All right.
The question is, what do I need to do? I'm assuming it's somewhere in the Great Foundry, but
All right. All
hard to
right.
know
I'm
for
gone.
certain. Well, I might as well take a look at this. Of course. I doubt you have an extra identify. No. And I don't have an extra identify scroll either. Out of curiosity, what else do you have in your... Okay, you don't have anything that would allow me to identify stuff. Should have expected that.
Done. I'm
Now,
gone.
is there anything else I could really do? I'd like to see the secret project if I could. He smiles. Friend, I can't give that to you until you prove yourself a friend of the Godsman. Okay. Looks like I'm not getting anything out of you.
I'm gone.
Let's check around a little bit.
I'm gone. All right. I'm gone.
Actually...
I'm gone.
You see a bushy-haired man, clad in the height of fashion, if you consider fashion to have died 50 years ago. His clothing seems to consist of tattered street urchin rags, and he seems to affect a disdainful manner toward those around him. Or that might be his actual manner. He doesn't even glance at you until you speak to him, and then his eyes begin searching your face carefully. Do you want something? He drawls on. Who are you? I am Nil Xander, the great-grandson of the artificer Zero Xandar. Engineer, dreamer, creator. And I have finished his work. The work that you commissioned. The Dream Builder. Are you ready to claim the use of it now? A Dream Builder? What's that? It is both machine and ritual. It is a state of mind and a construct of steam and blood. It grants dreams to those who enter its confines. It was built for you and is waiting for you. Are you ready to finish it off? It's been waiting for you for decades. How do you know it was built for me? Because my great-grandfather, Zeno Xander, set your face in stone so that we would know you when you returned for the work you commissioned. He always thought you'd return, but no one else truly believed you would. Our family completed it because we said we would, and now here you are. Do you still have this stone? No, it was stolen from me a year ago. I saw only a shadow flitting away. It was the only item taken from my house. I have no idea who'd take it, but I'd memorized the features. Alright, let's finish the Dream Builder. What I need to begin the final stages of the Dream Builder is a piece of your skin immersed in your blood, so the machine can familiarize itself with your physical essence. It must be in a blue-green bottle to symbolize the dream sea on which you will float. Flesh and blood, I don't know that I want to fetch that for you. You don't, eh? Then maybe you ought to remember that you're fetching these items for a design you funded, for a project you wanted to create in the first place, and it's for a device so impractical that the solution to it consumed the lives of 4 generations of my family, all for you. If you want to see this project complete, you'll finish the final stages and stop your endless whining. Fine, alright, I'll do it. Now I'm even more confused. So... let's make sure I have all the information. Blue-green bottle. Where would I find that?
I'm gone. Done.
I might not have time to go complete all of this. Oh dear.
Done.
Worse yet, I still don't know what exactly to do. It's up this way.
I'm gone.
Oh, up here.
All right. Done. Done.
Come on. Oh, just a small dwelling? Come on. Where is the portal key? Well, where's the portal? You see a wall-eyed fellow whose skin seems to writhe and ripple across his entire body. He is smacking his chapped lips with a blotched tongue. As you watch, his right eye moves independently of the left, focusing on you. A second later, the left one flicks to look your way, then reverts to its original position. The right eye blinks. A strange gurgling comes from his throat. Before you ask, Apothecary. Greetings. The man gives a lopsided grin and points at himself with his right thumb. Pestil, I'm called. The alchemist. He points at himself again, this time with his left index finger. The name's Kiln. Need you something? What are you selling? His left hand darts out and jabs the surface of the counter, the hair of his forearm writhing and twisting about as he does so. There is a series of scrawls written on it, a list of pieces written next to a number of items. You notice that a number of healing concoctions and charms seem to be available. Are you all right? Aye, I am. His throat convulses for a moment, then relaxes. A large, green, glowing pustule suddenly bursts from the side of his neck. Something to eat, then, sir? Ugh. His throat clenches again, and a wave of quivering flesh swallows the blistering green pustule back beneath the skin of his throat. He coughs violently for a moment, then seems to relax. May I ask what happened to you? The left eye rolls upward in exasperation. The right eye looks askance. Too much to drink. Too much of what, though? Potions I drank. Too many potions. Ugh. His mouth slides down between his chin. His left nostril forms another one. The most I ever drank, that's for certain. Of polymorphin they were, and brewed in limbo. Anything I could do to help? The man's eyes turn inward to look at each other, then back. Dunno. He shudders. The mouth below his chin moves up to envelop the one his nostril formed. This sort of thing's happened quite often. We can't seem to help but sample the stock. If you find a way to help, the two of us would be grateful, sir. Half of the mouth curls downward into a frown. Shakes his head. Work in a stock room all day, I do. He shudders violently. Suddenly, a third eye pops open up and over the bridge of his nose. The left one shifts sideways as the new eye takes its place. I speak only of the store, sir. That said, the skin of his face seems to eat the new eye, and the left one returns to its old location. The old engineer in the foundry tells me I need to get a sample of my blood and skin for his machine to work. I need you to do that for me. A scraping? Very well. His right hand takes up a razor blade. His left a wide-mouthed bottle. He removes a small section of skin from your forearm, placing it in the bottle along with a small quantity of your blood. He then places some gauze over your wound and hands you the bottle. You need anything more, sir? So I can help him out too if I need to. Okay. So is there anything... Didn't seem to show up here. Oh. Wait, if it's something from Limbo, I wonder... I have an idea. There's a pawn shop that might be able to help. Because, what was that about the medication of the Gitzerai? Maybe .com could use it. Worth a shot. I might want to grab it anyway, just because it'll be useful with a Gitzerai on our team. What I need to begin the final stages of the dream... Okay, I've got it right here. Taken. Show me my dreams. The machine requires a bird cage, adorned with razors, fine wrought to mimic the destructive power of dreams, and their ability to capture our hearts and imagination. Search in the siege tower for a cage I have commissioned. A cage with razors. I'll be back. Never ends, does it? The gigantic iron golem is still working at its forge. Sparks, ash, and hissing clouds of steam rise up from beneath the walkway. I need a heavy, decorated wrought iron bird cage. Do you have one? I have such an item. The Dream Builder came to me an age ago. He promised me that my durance in the prison of this city would be near an end when the cage left my possession. I see. Can I have it? Yes. Take this cage and lay waste to those who create such confines. Okay, then. While I'm out here, You know what, let's go see if he needs anything else from me first. Hopefully this will be the last thing, though. I don't know, we'll have to see. Based on what I saw, because, yeah, I didn't think of looking this up, but I don't know. Part of me says I really shouldn't, so that I'm actually forced to explore, but at the same time, I just want to get to the story, so I don't know. I'm gonna be coming back to that conflict for a while at this rate. Might as well get used to it, right? Oh boy.